Chris Barker. On behalf of Police Commissioner Chris Sapienza and the entire Yonkers Police Department, I welcome you to today's K-9 graduation. Keeping in mind the members of the armed forces engaged in combat around the world and the sacrifices they make every day in order to secure our freedom, I ask you to please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing. The Police Chaplain, Father Bob Abatello, invocates a blessing on our day.
Thank you. Let us remember that we are in the presence of God who created us, our world, and everything in it. Please respond, "Blessed be God forever." Blessed are you, O Lord, who created us in your own image and likeness, and who desires that we recognize your presence in each and every one of our brothers and sisters. Blessed be God forever. Blessed be God forever. God created us and placed us on this earth to be stewards of all living things, and so proclaim the glory of their Creator. Blessed be God forever. Blessed are you, O Lord, who created the animals and gave us the ability to train them to help us in our work. Blessed be God forever. Blessed are you, O Lord, who for the sake of our comfort give us domestic animals as companions in our homes, on the job, and for the good of the community we serve. Blessed be God forever. And blessed are you, O Lord, who through your creatures, great and small, never cease to draw us toward your love. May these service canines assist us in the pursuit of justice, in providing safety for our neighbors, and the restoration of peace in those communities in which our Yonkers police officers serve. Blessed be God forever. And may God, who created us in beauty and for goodness, and created the animals of this earth as a help to us, continue to protect us and sustain us with the grace of his blessing, now and forever. Amen.
Thank you, Father Bob. Please be seated. We are pleased to recognize 2 police officers and their K-9 partners that successfully completed their police K-9 training here at the Yonkers Police K-9 Unit. The Yonkers Police K-9 Unit is one of the few K-9 DCJS certified schools in the state, with Police Officer Phil Rotundo, K-9 Furby, Police Officer Stephen Alcantara, and K-9 Fluff. We're honored this afternoon to have Deputy Mayor Landy with us, as well as the leaders in our department, Commissioner Sapienza, Chief Monaco, Chief Campanini, and Chief Rice. Thank you all for being here. It gives me great pleasure to call upon the Deputy Mayor of the City of Yonkers, Andy Landy, for his remarks.
Thank you, Chris. On behalf of Mayor Spano and the City of Yonkers, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody. And I know the police department is going to make this holiday season very safe. The K-9s are a critical part of the police department. Just another tool in your toolbox to help prevent the criminal and also protect the public. K-9 Fluff was trained to detect explosive, and K-9 Furby was trained to detect narcotics. Their handlers, Police Officer Alcantara, who served in the U.S. Marines, thank you for your service, and the Police Officer Rotundo, both joined K-9 in the Emergency Service Unit. These teams honor our fallen heroes and loved ones. Detective Sergeant Guardino, who we know as Furby, we lost him last year, and what a tribute that we had to name to carry his dog. Thank you. K-9 Fluff honors a lost loved one who was known as Fluff in the military. It's only fitting that his handler also in the armed services. You're all part of the Yonkers family, and congratulate you on that. I especially want to thank the leadership and dedication of Officer Chris Barker, and of course, Commissioner Sapienza. Chris, you have made this program what it is today. From the 3rd Precinct, he came to the K-9 unit in 2000 and has been responsible for the training of a K-9 and their handlers for well over Westchester and New York State. Chris comes from a long line of Yonkers police. His father, Captain Joe Barker, retired after 45 years. His brother, Dave Barker, also assigned. Thank you, Lisa. He's retiring in July, and this is his final K-9 graduations, so we can wish him well. Congratulations. As a small token of appreciation from the city of Yonkers and also the mayor, Mayor Mike Spano, and I'm sure you have room on your wall someplace, you'll probably 100 of these probably, but it's a proclamation and honoring Chris for his work, but also naming today, August, to proclaim this day that the Commissioner, Police Officer Chris Barker honors retirement, your day in Yonkers. Congratulations. I don't know where that date came from, August 18th? Is that when you retired?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Landy. The two canines are named in honor of two people that have very special meaning to all of us. Canine Furby is named in memory of one of our own, Detective Sergeant Frank Galdino. Canine Fluff is named after a gentleman who went on a walk in the area of his home. He became disoriented and lost. His family reported him missing. Pio Oscalillo and Canine Callie responded to the last known location of the gentleman, and after obtaining assent of the gentleman, Canine Callie was able to locate him down an embankment off the Cross County Parkway. The family wishes to remain anonymous, but they have made this donation in the hopes of one day Canine Fluff can bring someone else home to their family. Fluff was a gentleman's nickname in the military. Today you see the new canine teams wearing their canine uniforms. It's a privilege for us to wear this uniform. Approximately only 1% of all police officers in the United States can say they are canine officers. Being in this 1%, we are a very tight, close-knit family. Some say we even speak our own language. So Phil, I guess that would be 4 languages you can speak. Our canine journey started back in August when we tested and selected our new canines. We selected the dogs I felt our criteria, and on August 21st, we started our 17-week school. The canine school took place at numerous locations throughout the city. It was very hands-on and an intensive program, which also includes the families of the canine. The training begins with obedience. This is where the officers and their new partners begin to bond with each other, listening to commands such as sit, stay, your basic sort of commands, and you could see how we progressed, and they're sitting here as happy as they could be, not even paying attention to everything that's going around them. This is followed by their agility training, where the dogs are taught to climb ladders, jump over obstacles such as fences and walls. The officers and their canines then moved on to scent discriminating tracking. This is searching for lost or missing people. Now, the scent discriminating tracking is how Callie was able to find Fluff. We train the dogs to single source and odor. It takes a long, long time, but it's very, very successful. The next portion of this curriculum is building searches. The officers and their partners are taught techniques for searching building interiors to locate hidden suspects or concealed suspects in elevator shafts or hanging ceilings, anywhere where somebody could hide. The next phase of the training is area searches. This is concentrated on outdoor areas such as yards, fields, alleys, any type of outdoor area that somebody can conceal themselves in. As you can see, each part of the training builds upon the previous block of instruction. At this point, the canines and their officers are trained to evidence recovery and location. These types of searches are outside and rarely under conditions that are ideal. You might even find yourself in a beehive. You never saw Phil move so fast. The last phase of the training is the criminal apprehension. This is when the officers and their partners learn to locate and pursue, if necessary, to take the bad guy into custody. As mentioned earlier, some of the training takes place in the officer's home. The family has to learn the dog has their capabilities and the differences between on duty and off duty. The canine themselves also have to learn that when they're home, it's time to be a family pet. They can't be on high alert all the time. Just like us, they need time to unwind and relax. I now ask Deputy Mayor Landy Commissioner Sapienza and Captain Rooney to come up to the podium. Frank's taking the shift.
You saw how Chris just gave us a canine command?
Police Officer Rotundo and Canine Furby, please come up. Police Officer Stephen Alcantara and Canine Fluff. Would the Galdino family please come up to the stage? We would like to present you a plaque and a shield as a small token of our remembrance. Thank you. Good. Chris, you good? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to introduce the Commissioner of the Yonkers Police Department, Commissioner Christopher Sapienza.
So Frank DiDomizio is going to kill me because I actually printed out the deputy mayor's notes for the speech. So. But luckily, I'm talking about something I know a little bit about, and it's the K-9 unit here in Yonkers. And Chris and everybody else in the K-9 unit and an ESU have taken K-9 to another level. We're known for our K-9 program throughout the county, throughout the state. Everybody knows who we are. Just like police officers, their job has expanded. You know, we have new jobs every day. Every day I'm dealing with new challenges that we never thought we had to face. Same thing with canines. We have bomb detection dogs now. And all right, what does a bomb detection dog mean? Right now, with everything going on with Israel and Palestine, worldwide news, there's threats, there's new terrorism threats here in Yonkers, in the county, in the state. And we actually deploy these dogs now to make sure that the schools are safe, to make sure the churches and temples are safe, and this is something we do on a regular basis. They're very well trained, and you can see the difference. There's canine dogs that, or canine handlers that just go through the motions, and you see somebody with a really good canine dog, and you can see the difference. You can see how the dog responds, how the dog actually performs their job, the bond they have with their handler. And that's what we have here in Yonkers, and that's to the credit of Chris and everybody else in the program. Congratulations. I know how hard it is, how many hours you put into this. I think it's very befitting that we have Fluff and Furby. I mean, I think it's a real honor. We're honored to be able to name those dogs and to carry out that tradition. When I think about Chris, and Chris almost retiring soon, you know, I was on the ESU, I was in the truck 30 years ago, and I was on the truck 30 years ago with Captain Barker, who's sitting here in the audience. And then later I served with Chris Barker when I was on the truck and he was in ESU, and then later with Dave Barker. So as long as I've been on this job, there's been a Barker in ESU, and they all do a great job. So I just want to say to everybody, thank you again. Thank you for training these dogs to the level that they're trained. Thank you for the honor and continuing this tradition. I also want to throw out that Alcantara is a former Marine like myself, so I always have to acknowledge that. And all I can say is thank you and have a great day.
Thank you, Commissioner. I would also thank Police Officers Bobby Oscalillo and Matt Miller for their help during this school. Your help was invaluable and greatly appreciated. At this time, I would like to call Police Officer Phil Rotundo up to the podium. We'd like to say a couple of words about the school.
I want to start off and say how truly honored I am to be here. I've been a cop for 9 years now, and being here today is one of the most memorable and meaningful moments yet. I'm standing in front of my colleagues, supervisors, friends, families, role models, and most importantly, the family members that named our graduating canines Fluff and Furby. I remember back a couple years ago when Steve and I graduated ESU, we chose to partner with each other. All we spoke about was really dogs, training dogs. He actually has another dog named Kiwi, who's one of the most terrifying dogs I've ever met, besides the name. She's a working line shepherd who's actually soon to be competing in PSA. I have a Belgian Malinois, Remy, who's 7 now, and she's taught me a lot about working line dogs. Steve actually brought me into like the sport world of training dogs a couple years ago, where we did seminars, met trainers, and we used to get paid to get bit by dogs. We actually bought our own bite suits, and we would wake up at 5 a.m. twice a week and drive over an hour to Long Island in hope that all that would help us get here today. And waking up at 5 a.m. and Steve being a Marine, being 5 minutes late, being 5 minutes early is late, so that was a little rough. But today is Fluff and Furby. They're officially police canines, and we're their handlers. School was anything but easy. Learning how to be precise, smooth, and fast. Furby, down, down, stay. I learned how to listen to Bobby and Chris and watch how Steve and Fluff would do everything. And then I would attempt it with Ferb, and every once in a while, we'd mess up, but we learned a lot. It made our bond really close. So both Steve and I are very grateful to have such intelligent, hardworking canine trainers. The wealth and knowledge that Chris and Bobby have given us is truly unremarkable. They've taught us so much, and I can't even begin to explain. They have to train both the dogs, the handlers, and then train me and Steve to train the dogs, which is not easy, if you know me. So a quick story, what Chris was bringing about before with the beehive was we'll do an article search where we have the dog on a long line, 15 or 20 feet, and Steve would grab a wallet, throw a wallet out that would have human odor on it. And Furby would smell the human odor, and he would track the most recent thing, which was the wallet. Now, we're in the woods, and he's weaving in between the trees, which the leash is getting caught up, and I'm not the quickest on my feet. So I was getting tangled up. He finds the wallet, and then I start getting stung by a bunch of bees. It wasn't very enjoyable. And then because I got stung by bees, I couldn't reward him, so then he decided to eat the wallet. So that was kind of a mess. Steve thought it was hysterical. So I could have easily thrown the article that he was looking for back there, but I chose not to do it. I threw it somewhere else. There happened to be bees there too. So that worked out for me. But it's an honor to work with Furby, who's named after Frank Furby Goldino, whose life was taken while on duty last year in a motor vehicle accident. Frank was an incredible man, cop, boss, father, husband.